good, my people? How you doing? How you doing today? It's your boy Trevor, and I'm back at it with another live stream. Yeah. This is day one. Sorry, yesterday was day one. Today is day two of being back in the game. While also learning from scratch again, starting afresh, right? So let's get it one time. It's your boy Trevor right here. A business proposal day one. Let's get it on the road. Yeah, I just wanna get started the right way and share with you a lot of this information. Might be wide right now, being that I'm still in the earliest phases of piecing it together and creating what this company is about to be. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for all the work that is awaiting. I'm excited for all that. So let's get it. So I want to start off with the launching week business proposal. So yeah, as Unity Live Experience, we have come to a point in time where we are ready to expand. Not only as a company that is global, but also as a company that is local. So we are ready to expand in both. We are ready to expand in both the international market and the local market. So Unity Live Experience, as I mentioned yesterday, is a production-based company that serves content creators. So it always comes down from creating new ideas, right? With Unity Live Experience, we have been aiming at putting out quality. So our vision statement is Unity Live Experience is a global production service company specializing in events, charity, and community building services. Our mission is to blend entertainment with social impact, creating transformative experiences that unite cultures, uplift communities, and establish a sustainable multi-million-dollar enterprise. So yeah, how you doing, my guys? Thank you for joining in. That is a business proposal week vision statement. So getting into launching week, our objectives first and foremost for this whole week, we are going to be printing and reviewing the business plan. We are also going to be running it through the AI systems to get lots of different feedback and information about the company and how we can grow best. Then we are ready to conduct a detailed study of each section of the business proposal. And this is going to be very important because this is a breakdown of what the idea is meant to be. So if you're ready to share with me this experience, please subscribe. I will definitely be going through what each section is. If you watched the live stream from yesterday, I did go through different sections of what it is. All day, CR7, bro. Why are you asking? But yeah, yeah, you guys are trying to get me hyped. Second of, we want to get our license. in place, if we can set up our license for being a production company globally through Canada, US, Africa, and Europe, that is going to be a major, major step, because that is going to be the door to expansion. Because with expansion comes the quickness of learning and growing in the moment and always being ready to adapt. So that is something I feel like Unity Live experience is ready and willing to push the boundary, especially being that there's so much untapped market in different ways. Like everyone is trying to be a creator, right? We are all trying to put our ideas out there in the best light that we can. It comes down to how do you take that next step. And this, for me as an artist, as someone who has been in studios, worked in different settings of the entertainment industry, I feel like this is that next step to what greatness can be. Like having a company that unites content creators, that unites events managers, that unites anyone in the field of providing a service that not only brings joy but also brings fulfillment and brings that light to other people. So that's really an industry that I want to be big on and share lots of the knowledge that I have about what events management is, through this company, Unity Live Experience. So next step right here, in our launching week, we are preparing the spoken and written proposals. Right now, I'm at phase 1 of the spoken proposal, being able to say what the idea is, manifest it, be that voice to bring in people. If you are watching this and you want to be a part of the team, please DM me on Instagram and let's work, because I believe there is strength in understanding your why. Or if you understand your why, being this proposal and like being the road to, or the route to actually manifesting it into existence, right? I am putting it on the internet because so many people get to see my content on the day of, days after, and it just goes to show that within building community, we can establish something that is long lasting. And that is something I've been looking at for a long time. Within building community, how do we build something that is long lasting? Something that everyone's gonna enjoy. And this is what Unity Live Experience is here to provide. A window of opportunity for everyone to come together as partners, sponsors, and investors to bring out this vision and make it something amazing. So yeah, from that step, our way forward is gonna be strategic direction. One, we need to establish our next dates. Establish a date to put our next event or our launch event. So those are going to be very important steps of what we are doing next, because launching day or launching week is going to be very important, because we want to get out there and put the company out in the best light that it can be. And as Unity Live Experience, building this from scratch takes time, yes, but also takes strategic direction. So that's something we want to be big on right here, that if we are able to set the date, drop information, put out the next schedule, put out our next plan, for what the company is or what is going to be, then finding locations and durations for pilot events. So as Unity Live Experience, we are coming into the game new, right? As a company that is starting off young and started off 2023, but is fully coming into light or fruition at this point. it's just very crucial that we lock down a location for creation, and also we know what durations we are going to be working in, the time frames we are aiming for, right? Yeah, then the next thing is define industry penetration methods, especially social media. One, live streams. Yeah, live streams are the easiest way to get your ideas in front of everyone and be open and be about it. It's all about speaking from the heart, and I know what it means to be a creator who comes confident. There's one thing to come in the room confident, and then there is another thing to stand for your dream all the way, right? Because so many people see potential in industry creators. Someone might see potential in you, but accomplishing your potential, that's a whole nother thing, and very few people are going to be there on the journey of working towards it. So as that piece of it comes together, especially being live streams, because live streams, one, they get you in front of people, they get you learning how to speak, they get you learning how to articulate your ideas and be open and willing to share them with the world. Because from day one, I started out this channel as a hobby, as a place for me to express my music, express my ideas, and like 5 years down the road, it has brought me to a place of realization that wow, all these amazing things were all a part of the foundation. All that time that was in the foundation is very prominent. Even right now, I can still see lots of the things I've learned from being a musician play into this role as a CEO, was the operations manager of this company. I do see a lot of what I've learned seep into what I'm ready to embark on. So yeah, live streams, live tours, that is something we have been working on heavy this year, 2025. Yeah, started off doing Canadian tour. That was really important for me because it kind of gave me perspective on what music is again, on what creation can be, what different parts of Canada perceive as good music. So it's really important that in this next step of launching this company and putting it at the front of everything that we do as artists and as creators, as producers, I want to look into these industry penetration methods and find a niche. They say that finding a niche is one thing when you have a wide audience, but when you have an audience that is from different parts of the world, like finding a niche within your lane is something very important. And like my niche right now is knowing that I have the ability to do the events management sector of it as a whole different entity of what I'm doing right now as a musician, creator, and music producer. Sorry. Yeah, so next step, we need to begin the world tour incorporation. So our plan as a company is to stretch beyond national lines. That's for sure. Our first target audience right now for almost the past 2 years has been Canada, the US, Africa, and Europe. So why I'm putting it in that format of tour incorporation is because phase one has been Canada and the US. I feel like through this YouTube channel, it has linked so many people from different parts of the world, especially Canada and the US to be specific, to checking out whatever idea, whatever intentional creation that I've put out there in the past few years. So it has always come down to that step of right, start where you are, start with what you have. I was born and raised in Uganda. This is where my music career started, and this is where my creative career started. And being born and raised in Uganda is different because we there's no way out. It's like there's no basketball, there's no make it to the major league, and then you're out of this. There's no NBA. There's no, like the chances of making it out of Uganda and becoming a global star, like they're close to none. They're close to none, and I'll be truly honest. But Uganda has a population that is willing to listen. That is the most important thing that I've learned. 40 million plus people in Uganda, that is a very wide audience of listeners, of people who can get on board with what the idea is, or get on board with what the vision can be for the future. So I've always been telling myself, start where you are. I started in Uganda, moved to Canada, established ThatGuy Treva as a brand in Canada, moved further than national lines into the US, into different parts of Brazil, Europe, European countries that I even don't know. Like my analytics just kind of keep showing me that my reach is beyond Uganda, is beyond Canada. So like whenever I get on live stream, ready to create, ready to put out this content, it's always reminding myself that it's beyond me, like it's beyond what I have to offer to the world. It's to the point that this greatness has to be realized. And if I have a role to play in it, I must play my role. So that's really a very important piece of what this touring cooperation is going to be. Africa, Canada, the US, Europe, and creating a bridge between African communities in all different parts of the world to build a unity live experience, right? Yeah, so I'm truly grateful for even having these ideas and being able to manifest them in this way. Sometimes it starts with you saying what you want to accomplish and getting to work, and like me being on a live stream and almost manifesting a future that can be or will be, because I'm that sure of the amount of work that I'm ready to put in and the sacrifice that comes with that amount of work, right? So yeah, that was just a quick breakdown of how we are taking over globally. This is not just a company that is going to be based in Canada or Uganda or Africa. This is going to be a global company. Unity Live Experience 2025 official launch week proposal. Thank you for being here and watching in and sharing this moment with me. It really means a lot, and words can't explain. Yeah, so the next step from launch week 1, we as a company have a goal to set up our logistics, transport, employment, and delivery. That is going to be a very important piece of what is next. Yes, we want to get an LLC. We just as a company get a permit. This piece of it, logistics, transport, employment, and delivery, is going to literally make or break it, because developing the right staff framework for local and global events teams is going to be a big task, because working with teams, working with different groups of people, these are all people who are established in their different fields, established in their different works, and we want to join forces as Unity Live Experience to bring out the best of everyone, as artists, as creators, as producers, as events managers. Like that is the vision right now. But why I'm saying that logistics, transport, and employment are gonna make or break it is because all these models stem from investment, an investment that comes from the profit or the product being of value, you know. So right now, the biggest thing we are working on as a company is building value through the strength of what our proposal is, one, also the strength of what this company can be, you know, because it's one thing to formulate the idea or put it out into the world, but like seeing the vision of what it can become, like that is really something that as the CEO or as the operations manager, I need to be able to present these ideas in the best format, because if you're working with people who already have teams of their own or people who already run global events, it's very crucial to find a balance between service and profits. So that's very important right there. Those are very two important sectors of it that I want to make sure that live on, finding value that can be profitable to the company while also providing the service that will bring this major idea into, you know, the spotlight of where I know it can be and what I know this company can obtain. So yeah, as we continue on this next piece of it, I just want to emphasize that Trevor, if you're watching this work, please emphasize the point of finding the right staffing framework. Yeah. Next up, we need to, under logistics, we need to plan transport modules. Is it equipment, shipping? Is it artist mobility? Is it guest experience? These are something that we need to be big on, because this would be almost a step into the light for others. And also, being that we are service-based company, we are not running everything ourselves. We are providing the service to a specific group, right? Or a specific mission that is at hand, and we are able to help out and proceed to making it this amazing idea that the person in charge or the person who has initially created it has, you know. So yeah, we need to partner with local delivery services, catering, and stage management services of all kinds. We need to be in touch with these people so that we are able to create a community around the company, because Unity Live Experience as one cannot do all the work that comes or that is entailed in a festival, let's say, or in a constant event, or in a coordination or a charity. These are all different sectors that we need to build framework around and build a partnership with all the local and international service providers to be able to provide these services beyond national lines and beyond state lines. Yeah, the financial framework, our fourth and most, almost like a building step to what we need to work towards too. We as a company need to do loads and loads of extensive market research. Extensive market research. As a company, we need to know who the target audience is going to be in the long run, because it starts with knowing your consumer, knowing who is going to be a part of the service that you're providing to the people and how it's going to impact people's lives, right? So having that market research is going to be very, very, very vital for this company's next framework and our mission going forward. So as we go into this financial breakdown, right? Market research, that's one. Data collection, that's something else. Like we need to be able to collect emails, to collect information, to be ready and in touch with each and every one that is in this community from scratch, right? Everyone that is building this community from scratch, we need to be able to link each other through almost data. We need to be able to provide that information when it's needed, bro. Because that's a very important step, like the people, the people who want to be a part of this, one, the audience, the donors, and the sponsors, right? We need to be able to know everything that we can about those three major bodies of who we are serving, because that's very important. And that's a very big piece of who we are looking to provide this service to. Next up, crowd sourced insights and community projects. We are ready and willing to take on community projects as a company. We are ready and willing to work together with the people in place right now to build a sustainable community around events, festivals, and moments of expression. All this can be done through building a proper network with the people we have as consumers, as part of the crowd. We need to build that link. We need to know who they are, what they want, and how to serve them best. Right? Then all of our targets, right, as a company, right? We are a service-based company looking to make profit along the way, right? So our main financial roadmap right now is one. Let me tell you about our possible income streams: ticket sales, live streams, brand partnerships, and donations. This is a very intrinsic part of what the company is gonna run around: ticket sales, events, weddings, parties, name it. We should be able to create a ticketing workflow or a system in which we are able to serve people, find their information, give them what they actually would go for, something they would enjoy to be a part of. So live streams, creating a brand around live streaming, that is very important for live events. And Unity Live Experience wants to be all in, hands in on creating that experience for others, but making it as smooth as possible, because I know what it takes to be up and down with everything, with all the work, with all the things that are going on. But it's also important that we see value in the service that we are providing, so that we are not focused on the money aspect of it alone, or focused on profits. So that is something we want to be able to learn and do the right way, especially with ticketing, live streaming, brand partnerships, and all kinds of donations. We need to be able to build a framework that serves all and is for everyone. Next up, what expenses is the company going to face? First and foremost, the biggest expenses that are ahead of us are logistics, production, marketing, staff, and talent. These six entities are very crucial. One, Logistics, we need to be able to find locations, create the set, and put it into fruition, right? That's logistics. Production, we need to be able to have an idea to present to the world. We need to be ready in that sense that we are producing something for everyone, and its impact is not or for one listener or for two listeners or for three. It's a global impact that we're aiming for. So yeah, that's gonna be a big major piece of it. Marketing, we need to find the right marketing staff, the right marketing agencies, the right team to work with, because that's going to be very important. Like marketing your brand and putting it out there and telling the world about it is step one, right? Step one of building a company, step one of building a multi-million industry or enterprise. So yeah, we need to focus on our expenses, know what they are, where the investment is, and what the profit is coming. We need to also do lots of profit planning. So we need a scalable model of growth, because as a company that is starting out in one of the toughest economies that there is right now, or there has been before, to start a company from scratch, what does it mean? If you're watching this, maybe if you have an answer, please let me know. What does it mean to start a multi-million dollar enterprise in 2025? It starts with the most important piece of it, which is creativity. Then it goes into breaking down every section of what you want, right? And here has just kind of given me that insight of scalable. We need to do something that can be increased in size, especially with events. Like you can start out with a crowd of 100, go to 1,000, then possibly do a festival of thousands. So there is lots of scalable growth within this industry, and I believe that anyone that is ready and willing to get into it right now, please join the community and let's work together, because I believe there is a lot that can be done with a united front, especially for events. There's a lot that can be done. Yeah. Donation allocation, that's very important, because as a company that is going to be aiming at making millions, we want to give back millions to the community. We want to give back to the people that have driven these initiatives, because it comes from finding community to building it and then sharing all these profits. Because as a company that has started out young and started out in a time that everyone is looking for employment, looking for work, looking for ideas, looking for creative inspiration, we can be creative inspiration for ourselves, yes, while also being creative inspiration for others. So that's what I see Unity Live Experience becoming in the long run, right? A company that is not only tailored to service, but to charity, to donating, to building community. And this is something that I'm very passionate about. I really look forward to even this more than anything else. Like I look forward to being in that time of giving back, and this is something I've been working towards for a long time. To be able to give back to the community of Canada, to be able to give back to the community of Uganda, the communities all around the world. Like we can be creative source for others. It just comes down to piecing your ideas together, putting them in a format like this, and presenting them as best as you can. Then, as a company, we need to save for future investments, because year one went well. I would say lots of the experience we have gained in these 2 years of foundation, because foundation is always where it begins, right? From foundation, how do we grow to expansion? How do we get to that level of reserving customers, reserving accounts, reserving, different funds that can actually go back into building a community and building this company in the best way we can. Yeah, so Our growth plan as Unity Live Experience, the 5-year plan is regional dominance. Canada, the US, and Africa. We want to build a company that not only has people as the main consumers, but people as also the main service providers, right? We want to be able to service what we are building, right? So in 5 years, if we can build regional dominance through building a YouTube channel for Unity Live Experience, which is going to be a very important next step, and yeah, that would be a whole different set of work to get, to bring the idea out. But yeah, I know what YouTube takes now, and it's a whole different mindset, especially going into it for a company like Unity Live Experience. If we build our ideas and put them into writing, put them into production, and build them out in the best way that we can, that is going to be very, very important because, right, like 5 years are a lot, and as I said, this is the second year of the company being fully active and in the public domain, right? So a 5-year development plan is very possible, and I believe that our company can do it. The 10-year plan would be global tour expansion, partnering with heritage organizations, and having over millions of valuations for what the content has become into, or what the productions have put into motion. So that's something very big. Then 15 years down the road, I see Unity Live Experience as a franchise beyond state lines, beyond national lines. Like, I'm ready to see this company have branches all over the world, branches, and have event centers all over the world called Unity Live, so that's really what the mission is. So 15 years from now, the boy is 22 right now. I'm giving myself that window of almost 15 years of creating this company to its fullest potential and what it can become. So yeah, for the two people who are here, yeah, you definitely have been here for the come up, so that's the 15-year plan. So next up, we need to build a business administration, because to build a company that is gonna become this big, we need to have a board of members and have information that is up to date, complete registration in all key markets in the Canada, US, and Africa. If we really want to start with that as our 5-year regional dominance, right? We need to build clear landmarks and clear goals, of what it means to get to the next step, or even check marking where we are at and seeing that, okay, we have reached this far. So what's next? How do we go further? So yeah, that's Unity Live Experience. 15 years from now, global event centers, hopefully one of our very own auditorium or something, or like a stadium or theater, some kind, So yeah, that's really it, and it starts with Unity Live Experience being manifested like this, saying what the proposal is and knowing it to heart, knowing that it's time to put in that work, right? Like, I remember building a music empire, right? That was the biggest piece of work I had to do since I was young until this point in my life, and now I'm looking at this company as my next big project. Unity Live Experience is gonna be, and I know it's gonna be big, So at the moment, manifest it, create your idea, say it out loud, and let the world hear what you have to offer. Yeah. Then we need to find proposed funding sources, investors, cultural grants, YouTube monetization, live event sponsors, right? These are all funding sources that I know we can get to eventually, but like finding a streamline of what can fund this beginning phase. That's very, very important, because like right now I'm looking to, yes, we want to do all these amazing things. All these amazing things are done with income, or with financial investment, right? Me as an artist, yes, I do have an income coming in, though I for sure wouldn't see an income from music building a company of this sort, because like building all these amazing ideas and getting to the 15-year plan of having an auditorium or a stadium or whatever that is, that is like massive. So like you can't do it as one. A company is known to be a company because of the people who build it and give it the light that Unity brings. So, and being that our company is Unity Live Experience, we need to be able to unite people through our company. That's very, very, very important. So, all this being said and done, our next step from here is brand development and digital presence. So Unity Live Experience, wow, amazing. We have an Instagram channel. We're active right now. And yeah, if you'd like to check it out, check it out. But like building a brand design right now is gonna be crucial. We need logos, like five-star logos, like a logo that you look at, memory captured, you know what it is, you know what the company is almost hinting towards. Then finding colors that represent what our company is going to be in the long run. This is very important too, because with brand comes remembering, like people need to remember your brand, of colors, of whatever it might be. So yeah, I see a lot of that being the first step, actually, the first step of what we are going to go for, especially being that we want to make it global. We need to be able to set a standard, especially when it comes to brand development and digital presence. That standard has to be set high, because you can never know what brings someone into the door, right? It's always a combination of all these things done in the right way that puts you in a place to know what your company can attract, or even who you are as a leader, or who you can attract within that space. So building a brand, I built my brand. ThatGuy Treva has been my brand, and I continue to work to creating more, to being a better creative, right? While also taking on the role of building this brand for Unity Live Experience. That is very, very important. Then, if we can get past that point, put our logos, get our colors in, get event themes, get different sources of what we want to create, then we should be able to launch our website and our online structuring. Wow, this is going to be a very heartwarming step, because a website is very important, because that is your link to an international market, right? So if we can get to the point of Unity Live Experience being expressed through a visual representation of a website or online structure, that is going to be so amazing to showcase our services, for one, to, to show the people what our events are here to impact, and what we are here to do as a team, so that's very important. Then integrating YouTube and social channels, because a company needs to be a company that lives on, and I know YouTube lives on forever. So piecing together content that we are going to actually eventually put out on a global platform like YouTube, that is very important. Very, very important. Like, we need to be at the forefront of what Unity is on YouTube. If it's events, if it's coming together, if it's charity, Unity Live Experience has to be at the top there. In the search bar, it has to be up there. So even taking the step of building social channels, the Google itself, and getting a Google page, that's going to be very important for Unity Live Experience to actually build, to build from being a company that is on paper to a company that is fully active and international, because that's what we're aiming for, and that's the mission. So yeah, last but not least, we need to release a structured brand story and highlight of how this company is coming to light. To be honest, you watching this in this moment is you being a part of this brand story, being a part of what the highlight may be a couple years from now, But understanding that a story is a journey. We always want to tell our stories and get to the end point. But with a company like this that is aiming to go global, live beyond me, like the aim of this company is for it to live beyond the years that I will have been given by the Almighty Father. That is the mission. And being able to have a story that can push the vision forward, that can motivate the next team of Unity Live Experience operation managers to step up and take the company forward 45 years from now, 50 years down the road, 100 years down the road. That is very important because you build a community, you build a structure, then you tell a story around it, a story that can motivate people to be a part of it, motivate people to actually see a piece of what this content creation world can be for everyone, because content creation is a branch of events and public speech. Yes, we're doing it on a different platform through different channels, but it is a streamlined structure that all leads into this social mission that we want to put out. So that's very important for this company. And yeah, launch week 1 started last week. This is launch week 2. And yeah, there's a lot that is going on behind the scenes and a lot that is yet to go on behind the scenes, especially being that this company has just come to the forefront. We are registering, we are getting licenses and taking that next step to what greatness can be, because it's one thing to build a brand, it's another thing to expand beyond self and serve the community and serve the people around you. So that's very, very important for this company. And I believe that in the years to come, in the times to come, like looking back at this live stream and almost understanding what the vision was back then or now, is going to be a part of the storyline of where we're going or how we are meant to get there. Yeah. So that is a breakdown of what our launch week is going to look like. And why I call it a launch week, I am planning to keep launching the company every week until the website is out, right? So my intention right now is to get articulate with how I know this company is meant to be able to say it out loud, be able to present the ideas in the best way, shape or form, and then taking on that next step of servicing the people around me, finding the team, taking this all into operations. That's very intrinsic right now, and our company needs to be at the top of its game, especially if we want to be able to launch by the end of 2025 and have a global impact by 2026. It's very important that we start now. We cannot slack, we cannot stop, we cannot even afford to have a launch week missed. We can't afford to have a launch week missed. Because Unity Live Experience, as a global production service company, we are meant to specialize in management as well, right? Management being talent acquisition and charity initiatives, community building experiences. This is all a part of what management is for us, And Building a proper system around it in 2025 is very, very, very crucial. Very crucial. I repeat that. So I just want to read through a couple of our core objectives and emphasize what they are or what they will be. One, facilitate and manage the work of subcontractors for all kinds of events. We want to be able to help set up, break down, plan, post production. We want to be a part of everything that events can entail. That's what Unity Lab Experience is here for, and that's what we are ready to build. Two, build and maintain core infrastructure for venues, facilities, and event sites. Yes, as we spoke earlier on, the vision is to get to building stages, building events locations. But where do we start? We start with working with people who have already built foundation in these different fields. So yeah, we need to be able to set up a stage to someone's liking, to one artist's standard, and have them co-sign it and be like, yes, this is really what my idea was, and thank you for bringing it to light. So that's very, very important. Then we need to ensure insurance compliance for all events. That's what our company is going to be. Being able to provide health and safety measures, be able to provide weather control, crowd control, like knowing these different pieces of what goes into the insurance compliance for any kind of event. That is going to be a big part of what Unity Live Experience does. 4, attract and manage food vendors, craft stalls, charity stalls, and entertainers. That is going to be major right there. If you build a contact list of food vendors that can come out for a festival, come out for an event of whatever sort that you have pieced together as Unity Live Experience, right? That is going to be out of the wind, because having those contacts on you and having those people a part of who you are, that really builds team. Craft stores, you need to be getting in contact with these people as early as possible and knowing the pricings, knowing what brings them out, or knowing something that inspires them to being an outgoing company. So this is something that we need to work hard on, very hard on. Managing entertainers of all kinds, musicians, artists, drummers, players, instrumentalists, name it. We want to be contact list full on who you can reach out to, full on who you can serve, full on how you can serve them, So that's really big on knowing the entertainers that we are bringing for festivals, events, or anything that might arise in these 15 years of building this amazing company. Yeah, huh? That's truly dope. 5th, oversee utilities, being energy, water, waste, and lighting. Events run on all this. Events run on a household type of utilities almost, because there's a lot that goes into the event depending on the size. And as a company like Unity Live Experience aiming for a global reach or aiming for a festival reach, right? This is going to be very important to know where our energy is coming from, how the water is being used, where it is being used, where the station is, and how we can get water to vendors, because vendors need water. That's very important to them, Then waste and lighting, those are like two almost a stretch from each other, but kind of similar, because waste management is that you bring people in a place, thousands of people in a place, right? You need to be able, and you must have planned for how people are easing themselves, how people are pushing this waste and where this waste is going, So that's very important, even for food vendors on the side of wasted food or like collections. Where is this garbage going, right? And that is something that Unity Live Experience wants to be heavy on, like being that forefront of give us your idea and let's help you do the background work. Like you don't need to worry about all this. Like we got you on figuring it all out. Just tell us what you're here for, what your package idea is, and we are able to provide that service. Right? That's Unity Live experience right there. Acquire and maintain permits. To acquire a permit is one thing, to maintain it is another, because these are very important pieces of running your business. You know, you need a permit that is up to date. You need a permit that is of the facility that you're offering, you know, and needs to be of value to the people, you know. So yeah, that is gonna be crucial. Maintaining a permit, liquor licenses, having them on ground, having proper insurances. That's intrinsic of what Unity Live Experience is going to be providing. And if people don't have information to eat, how about you collect that information and give it to the people, you know, and be an easier way into the field, you know, because I know what it means to be almost shut out just due to the lack of knowledge, you know, by having it pieced together and a package that we can provide in a service. Wow, that's gold right there. That's gold. Next up, establishing operating procedures and trader guidelines. Because within a company of this sort that is aiming as high as we are, we need proper operations. We need proper procedures to see to it that everyone is performing at their best and also everyone is getting the best out of what the service that they envision, or the service that everyone wants to, you know, be the product. You know, you want a product, but the operations and the procedures that lead up to it are always the guidelines, you know. So next up, we need to develop and maintain health and safety documentation. That's a whole nother thing now, right? Bringing people in a space, especially after the whole COVID-19 thing, right? We as events managers are given the fulsome task of looking after people, especially being that anyone that has come through those doors who has been a ticket buyer for the first time, second time, third time, right? How do you keep them a part of this safe community that everyone is growing healthy in, right? That's a big part of what Unity Life Experience is going to be providing. Then we will be able to also manage vehicle passes, vouchers for staff, and any type of credentials. That would be something that we can provide, we can print out, we can help out in any way. Then implementing risk management and fire safety protocols. Wow. Running an event, running a festival, running anything that is of public safety, right? Fire is a big risk, and also there are so many different pieces that also play into it. But being the right kind of manager to point people in directions of how to be safe, of how to perform, or how to present this festival, this event, this concert in the best way, shape, or form that everyone enjoys it and gets value out of it, you know. So that's very important. Oversee food hygiene and alcohol compliance, because these are very two important pieces of it. Food hygiene, you need to be in a very clean environment, especially for festivals, and constant service to people, especially food that is being intaken. That is very, very important to have proper hygiene on the grounds of the event, and also having vendors that are actually fully licensed, vendors that are fully operational in that sense, right? Yeah. Alcohol compliance, like there's a lot that goes into alcohol, serving the right amount, being that authoritative figure, especially when it comes to people who have drunk beyond their limits, or knowing when to spot out someone who has drunk beyond their limits, or creating a proper environment to drink in. That's very important for an events company like us. Yeah. Then we need to hire operations directors, infrastructure managers, safety coordinators, and zone managers. Wow, this is team right here. This is team right here. If you can have all these four sectors in place and have a team lead for each, that's step one. That's step one. Because these are crucial. Operation directors, infrastructure managers, safety coordinators, zone managers. I'm inviting you, if you're watching this and you have passion in any way, shape, or form towards that field, please reach out and I'll definitely be willing and able to, work together and build our ideas in whatever way we can. Next up, fire control teams, emergency procedures. Like, we need to be on top of that. Like, in the case of anything going wrong, how do you provide fast and accurate emergency response, to the people who you are serving, to the people who you have brought out as an event management team, right? Like, we need to be on top of that in every sense. Troubleshoot pending problems. If there's anything going on grounds that you don't have idea of, or you don't know why or how it's getting to that, it's always about that, right? Like, it's always about something's going on, there's a problem here, there is something on the side that we want to create and add to it. Yeah, we can do all these amazing things if we troubleshoot for every event, knowing what could go wrong or what might go wrong, or knowing how to actually service it in the case that it goes wrong. Then a big piece of Unity Live experience is coordinating with the police, health officials, and local authorities, and also local leaders, I would put it as, because if we are able to coordinate with all these four different sectors in the events industry world, this will be a recipe for spot on delivery, because having the police in place and having safety in place, security in place, that's very important, because we want to make sure everyone who has come through those doors, those event gates, has an experience that they can live to tell a story, a positive story, right? So, being an events company, how do you plan for all these different pieces of the logistics that actually go into, helping out? It might be a small thing with the police and security, but how do you have a team ready to respond? Then health officials, we need to be able to have a first aid team on ground, because hosting a festival, even if it's a 2-day, 3-day festival, right? You need a health team of officials on ground to be able to communicate with anyone, because that's the point of entry. Once you're able to communicate and you're on ground in proximity, then that kind of brings more room to actually, serve each other in the best way. Local authorities and leaders, that is very important, because if we are going to a place for the first time, because Unity Live Experience plans to be global, right? So going beyond state lines, going beyond national lines, that is hectic. It's hectic. And you need the local authorities behind you, for one, to give you those permits, to give you those locations, to give you those logistics. Then you need the local leaders. With local leaders, it comes down to building connection, but also servicing them, right? Because if you provide a service that is high quality to any authority, to any local leader, then the trust is built that you are able to provide that service in the best way, shape, or form that you can, right? So that almost builds a trust and a community around your coordination experience or your events experience, thus bringing a wider influence when it comes to communicating with local authorities and local leaders. Next up, we need to ensure crowd control measures are in place. That is what Unity Live Experience will be standing for. One of our objectives is to make sure that everyone that enters events doors lives safe, comes in safe and lives safe. So what does that mean? With crowds come density, knowing is this a crowd that is safe for someone to be standing in the middle of, or to be a place that everyone has proper circulation, or a place that everyone is able to have space to enjoy themselves while also sharing the space in the best way that we can. So crowd control measures, that's going to be a big part of what Unity Live Experience is going to ensure. And yeah, we look forward to our first festival. I don't know when that is going to be, but pretty soon, once we have dates on it, probably 2026, the first Unity Live Experience festival will be launching. Yeah, and that is just speculation for now, but for sure, with all this in place, with all the different pieces of what we have spoken about in this, like that would be easy. That would be easy if you actually have the procedures and operations in place. Perfect. Like that, it's easier to present ideas that are full on than present a half baked, you know, style of operating. That is not really what we are going for. As Unity Live Experience, we look to building something that is sustainable and also building something that is longevity. Like longevity is the mission right now. Like 15 years down the road, if I'm here or not, what is Unity Live Experience gonna be? What is gonna be the message or the vision statement? What will the vision statement stand for then? You know, just to finish up our objectives: acquire and comply with operating permits, especially when it comes to noise, fire, alcohol, events management, population caps, pollution caps, like knowing all that and bringing it in a way that is easier to understand, because events are heavy, but being that link into all these different parts of operating, wow, brother, it's truly amazing. Then establish light and noise pollution management strategies. That's very important, because being that we are serving the community, we want to be actually of proper and good impact to the community. Noise and light, these are big things of, if you go to a venue, right? Like, how do you provide a service that not everyone is kept awake just because you're having an event, or people are forced to stretch their resources just because of one event. So that's very important too. Then, last but not least, build a strong lineup and manage talents in proper operating systems, right? It's one thing to build a lineup for a festival, to make the information come to light, to do the marketing, to do the vision creation, to share the vision with everyone that is on the lineup, or the talent behind it. That is crucial, because artists, entertainers, instrumentalists, these are going to be a big piece of what we are providing to the people. So how do we provide a service to entertainers who are providing a service to the consumers, right? That is a very, very crucial piece. Like, we have to have lots of systems in place, systems that build understanding of the company, of seeing our brand, of seeing what the lineup might be, or the talents behind it might be. We need proper systems. when it comes to that, especially being that 2025 is almost congested, like, as a year, the impact that has been going on in different parts of Canada, for one, Uganda, Africa, like it's constant, right? So to build a system that can be recreated years on end, that's perfection right there. I truly get what it means when they say there's a lot of work that goes into it. Yeah. So next up, I just wanna give you a structure and an understanding of our services offered. One, events production and management, full scale concerts, charity festivals, conferences, cultural events. That is a big aim of Unity Live Experience, especially going into 2026. These are going to be, I would say, all the major sectors that we have to hit in this upcoming financial year to be able to create a foundation for Unity Life experience going on. Charity and community projects, we need to be able to create revenue through sharing events for proper causes, like if we create revenue that can go into serving community, that is really amazing. Like I've seen The Weeknd do it, like his concerts have an amount of the proceedings going to the World Food Program, so that is something that we can do as a company. We can team up with different charity events and different charity groups in Uganda, in Africa, in Canada, in Europe, in all parts of the world. Like it's very possible to link up with all these people who are standing for the right causes and work together to building a goal. Then, as Unity Life Experience almost builds, let's say, a name in a company field, right? Building partnerships with NGOs, schools, and community organizations. This is going to be very important because NGOs are not usually connected to the government, right? That's obvious, right? The non-governmental operations, but they serve, right? The people, just like Unity Life Experience is a non-government organization willing to serve. So coming together with these different groups, schools that teach, community organizations that outreach, this is very crucial, So being a service provider in this field is truly, truly something else. Digital and media integration, live streams. Are you a live streamer? Do you have an event you want to live stream on YouTube, social platforms? Do you have a memory, a core memory of that event that you want to hold on forever? That is something we are going to be able to integrate into with you and help with the production side of it, the visuals, the vision, the brand, bringing out that vision and your brand, your story, being able to tell it through an event or tell it through a live stream like we're doing right here. Like that's truly important. Content monetization, advertisements, donations, and brand deals. That's going to be a big part of our digital media integration because if you're able to build AdSense and we are able to run ads on the YouTube channel, build some type of revenue through that, outreach different parts of the community, work on community-led donations and brand deals that can bring everyone to a point of profit, right? That's really where we want to get to. Then talent and vendor management. This is very important because you are booking the artists, you're booking the entertainers, you're booking speakers, you're booking people who are bringing people into the door, right? Bringing people attentive, bringing people into the community from different parts of the world, but to connect with the people in that part of the country that are dedicated listeners or people who are learning from this specific knowledge or this specific value that a person provides through their talent, through their entertainment or their speech, So yeah, last but not least, on our services offered, we will be coordinating food, craft, and charity stalls, helping vendors find bookings, helping vendors find the next festivals, lineups, making charity investments into stalls, into different crafts as well. This is going to be a big part of what Unity Life Experience has to offer. Yeah, so as I was breaking down all this, right, and putting it into light, sharing it, manifesting it, and being a spokesman for it, right? Because as someone who is starting a company, like I've heard about everyone else's experience that goes into building something that has never been done before and building something that is sustainable. There is a lot of background work, all the ups and downs that might come with, you know, taking on this role, though the mission remains the same. And I will repeat it through our vision statement. Unity Live Experience is a global production service company that specializes in events, charity, and community building services. Right. So, our mission remains to blend entertainment with social impact, creating a transformative experience that unites cultures, uplifts communities, and establish a sustainable multi-million dollar enterprise. This is what Unity Live Experience stands for. It has taken over 5 years of work to creating these ideas, to putting it all together, to learning the ups and downs of what this industry has to offer, and getting to the point of actualization. I sit before you here in this live stream, knowing that the future that Unity Live Experience can bring is crucial, and I want to be ahead, ahead in every piece of the operations management, and I want to be able to provide value, right? I just want to take on this next journey of what Unity Life Experience is gonna be in a different mindset. Yes, though almost with a whole refreshment of my passion towards events, creation, and production. Yeah, my name is ThatGuy Treva, all the way from Uganda, born and raised, currently in Canada right now. And yeah, it's just the beginning of what Unity Live Experience can be, what it will be. So drop a heart in the chat right now. Tell me, how do you feel about this discussion? It was just like enlightening for me because the more I'm able to communicate about the vision, the more I'm able to articulate my mindset at the time and also understand what it means to take this next leap of faith into creating something this big, right, Trevor? A multi-million dollar enterprise. That's the goal, that's the mission, right? So yeah, I know for a fact it's all just getting started. Like I always say this in all my streams, I always say I'm just getting started, but bro, I'm still getting started, bro. This is just a proposal week 2, and yeah, day 2 of proposal week 2. I'm getting to understand more and more and more about what this company can be just by sharing it through a live stream, right? Like, bro, live streams take a lot of constant improvisation, especially being that you want to share your ideas in the best way that allows you to communicate that, you know. But yeah, thank you once again for being a part of this live stream. It's your boy Trevor. And yeah, I truly enjoy your company, and I truly enjoy YouTube for being a place for me to express my ideas in the best way I know how to, go live, stream, talk, communicate, engage, and grow, So I'm truly grateful for everyone who is here right now, everyone that is sharing this moment with me. I'm truly thankful to you. And once again, reach out to me in any way you can, and let's connect. My Instagram is ThatGuy Treva, same thing as my YouTube, ThatGuy Treva Live. And yeah, I just want to be able to be a source of creative knowledge to others, and be better in everything I do as an artist and as a producer, right? Yeah, thank you for meeting you. It's your boy Trevor officially ending this live stream. 1 hour and 20 minutes in. Thank you for watching. It's your boy. Peace.